Okay, we're going to show you a little more in depth on the 1911, how to field strip, get that ready for a basic cleaning. A little bit different than the standard slides that we've shown before. Great design of the 1911, but just a little bit different, so we want to talk through that and show you a few of the steps. So here we go. First of all, we've got the mag out. We've ensured that everything is cleared. And in this case, we're actually going to leave the hammer back in order to disassemble this. First thing we got to do is release the tension on the spring. So this little button, it's actually a spring cover, but if you push that in, and this bushing, I'll call it a barrel bushing, slides around that in order to release. So push that button in. This one's still new. It's good tough spring. When you've got that bushing turned and release this, don't let this thing go flying. Okay, so we've got that cover. Now the next thing that we've got to do, you'll notice on the slide there's two notches. There's the mag catch. It's a big notch here, and there's just a tiny little kind of half moon notch back here a little bit, which we've got to align with the back side of this pin. Push it through from the opposite side so that we can remove that pin. As you move this back and kind of wiggle it around, you'll feel in there when it releases. So that's now popped out. Pull that one out, and the slide is now released, similar to the way we've done the rest of them. Slide that off. Recoil spring comes out the back. Now this bushing on the front again releases the barrel, so we swung it around that direction to release the spring. Now we swing it around this direction and you'll feel it. This little thing, maybe you can see that, will get aligned in there and pull that bushing right out, which has now released the barrel. We're able to remove the barrel, and we've got it stripped for basic cleaning. So we've got our parts all cleaned up. We're ready to put this back together. First thing we need to do, put the barrel back in. Rest it up against the end. Make sure this circle is going to end up straight up and down. You can lean that forward until we get the spring in to help hold that up. Barrel bushing into the front. So again, that notch, you feel that go in there. Hold the barrel in, you can swing it all the way over so we're ready for the spring to come out. Okay. Recoil spring in from the back. And you'll notice on the recoil spring there's the contour on the bottom. So we're going to let that rest right on top of the barrel. Again, make sure this circle is forward leaning up against that, and now we're ready to put the slide back on. Grooves down there in the end. Line up. Make sure all that's going back in. Get her wiggled down. And you can see this little thing, and you can make sure that that circle that we talked about forward and back is lined up there, and this second notch again from when we took it apart is still lined up to accept our pin. That one goes through, and again if you wiggle around the slide a little bit you'll feel where that's ready to go back in there. Okay, got the slide locked on. Now we got to get the recoil spring back in. Cover back on, push that one down. Move that bushing back around in the front, and again you can see that that button now is popped out into that half moon on the bushing to hold everything in place. We're all back together, so a little bit of function test. Hammer's still back, that releases. Hold down the trigger, rack, you can hear that release as we let it go forward, and then it will activate the hammer and we pull it, and you're all back together ready to go.